Gunther just beat Jey Uso clean in the middle for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I mean, it's one that I think people did not see coming, but in hindsight, what do you expect from Gunther ultimately? What do you expect? Now, nobody that I saw predicted that Gunther would simply beat Jey Uso with a sleeper hold in the middle of the ring to become once again the World Heavyweight Champion. I can't help but feel the end of the Jey Uso run feels premature. And you could say, well, what else were you going to do with Jey Uso as World Heavyweight Champion? I think that there was plenty. I honestly thought that Jey Uso was just kind of kicking into an era of being a believable champion.
That's it. Jey Uso lost the World Heavyweight title. And now that he's a big fat loser, he can go right back to tag teaming with his brother in the shadow of Roman Reigns. Now, I half-kid. I'm a half-ass joke when I say that. You know, I thought that this was Jey Uso's probably his best match, if not ever, at least the best match that he's had since being World Heavyweight Champion. Though I do disagree with Sam Roberts there that I don't think that there was more meat left on the bone for Jey as champion. I think it had kind of run its course. Now, holy shit. Did you guys see that? That was a spider just just trickling down from the ceiling. I'm in the basement, which is spider infested. So I had to smush it. I thought it was a piece of fuzz. I would ignore it because you guys can't see that on camera. But there was a spider. I had to kill it and burn the house down. Look, Jey Uso, man, I just think, you know, the experiment's over. I thought they gave it the good old college try. I thought Jey Uso gave it his best effort. It's not for lack of trying, you know. He made the connection with the crowd. He came out. He tried to do the promos every night. He failed miserably almost every time. He tried to have that championship match, that big main event feel match, and again, I think he fell short there. I just think maybe he's not ready quite yet. Now, I know Jey Uso has tons of fans, and I lose subscribers every time I knock Jey Uso. But for me, he's that guy that's like, who do you look at on the roster that everybody thinks is the shit, and you just don't see it? It's Jey Uso. There's no interest there. There's no interest in him as a champion. He wasn't taking it to the next level. The Bully Ray had said it best recently on a show on Busted Open, where he said that, you know, Jey Uso was a guy that won the World Heavyweight title, not a guy that is the World Heavyweight Champion, you know. Ric Flair famously said that he didn't feel like he was ready the first time he got the belt. I think there's more cooking left to do for Jey Uso as a singles star. If he's not going to go back to being a tag team, which you're going to kill any momentum you have for Jey Uso altogether if you do that. You know, like a once-in-a-while reunion is fine, but Jey Uso's got to be a single star. And I think you can work him back up to the point where he can have another shot at the championship and maybe have a better run this time around. I just don't feel like, at least for me personally, I feel like this was the time to take the title off of Jey. I kind of felt it coming. Even the announcers, I felt like were preconditioning you by saying, you know, oh, Jey Uso's wearing himself thin. You know, they've been saying this for a couple weeks now. You know, he's feuding with this guy, and he's feuding with that guy, and he's helping out his homie, and he's helping out his other homie. And even Gunther came out and said that this is not what champions do. It's what good guys do. You're a good guy, Jey, but you're not a champion. I think, honestly, the weight of the world title weighed him down as well. I think Jey Uso I feel like, you know, he had that connection with the fans, but when he was struggling with the promos and stuff, I feel like that was the weight, the pressure, the world title, just, you know, heaviest, the brightest of spotlights on him. And I think that's what kind of made him crumble. I just felt it was time, but a lot of people seem very surprised by this. I thought the writing was on the wall, though I didn't think it was a guarantee that Gunther would win, because he got Money in the Bank floating out there now, and who knows, they really want to just drive home the Jey Uso thing and just keep pushing them, but I felt it was time, but other people were surprised. Check out this clip here I got from Busted Open Radio. Dave LaGreca slightly surprised here, but Bully Ray, not so much. Me and him kind of on the same page for Jey Uso. Check out this clip.
Gunther challenging Jey Uso for that World Heavyweight Championship, and we now have a new World Heavyweight Champion in Gunther. What a match, and an ending, Bully, that when you look at it, you shouldn't be surprised, but I got to tell you, I was surprised watching that match last night. Your thoughts?
Why were you surprised?
Was not expecting Jey Uso to drop that World Heavyweight Championship.
We talked about at the end of the show yesterday about a possible cash-in by Seth Rollins. Your words.
Yes.
So why are you so shocked that he lost?
Well, I mean, it's one thing to have a cash-in from Seth Rollins. It's a completely other thing to have Gunther win that World Heavyweight Championship again. And I'm just being honest with you, Bully. I did not see Jey Uso losing to Gunther last night.
I have zero problem with it. I think last week we talked about, or I remember I had mentioned Jey Uso didn't feel like a World Heavyweight Champion. He felt like the guy that won the World Heavyweight Championship. I loved the match. I really did. And I loved it for the last 4 to 5 minutes.
Despite how often I absolutely trash Jey Uso and you lovingly call him Yeet Boy and stuff like that, I try not to be a hater, just an outright hater of anybody, and I really want to see them improve. I really look every week when Jey Uso's on TV for him to get better on the mic, better in the ring, better at sucking in the fans to that main event match, when he's in the thick of it. And that's where the criticism comes from, because I'm not seeing that. I feel like most people see the entrance and the charisma and the catchphrase and the heart. He's got a lot of heart. He's got a babyface heart. I thought what made this match his best match was the way he kept fighting and just showing that fighting spirit, I suppose. And maybe that was something that Gunther was more attributed to Gunther and not Jey Uso. We'll see in the future. But the way that they really fought for that finishing hold at the end there, and Jey struggled out of it a couple times and tried to slap in his own reversals and stuff, I thought that was great. Jey for me didn't hit that next gear where I'm like, okay, we are in main event quality match territory right now. I feel like, if you're looking at a 5-star match, Jey, and you can look at those as gears. Jey never leaves, third gear at most. He never gets up to the 5th, the 4th or the 5th where that main event, those 5-star match territories are. He's just never been there. He's never been in that range, and I don't know that he's capable of it yet. And I do think the world title weighs him down. I think he's intimidated by the spotlight right now, and he's trying to act the part. And look, this is a 15-year veteran. He's not a newbie to this, but he is new to being a single star. He is new to having all of the eyeballs on him and the weight of the company on him. Who's selling tickets? It's the world champion a lot of times. Now, I'll also say Gunther is not exactly an attraction. I don't know that I'm flying out to buy tickets to see Gunther, but his matches are always highly impressive. And the thing that is great about Gunther is he's the mountain that your babyface has to climb. He doesn't need to be the draw. The draw can be the babyface fighting the mountain, trying to climb that mountain, trying to beat the unbeatable Gunther, the dominant monster Gunther. It was a great match. I would say not, Meltzer 5-star territory, but certainly a great match. And I want to see better from Jey Uso. I want to see this light a fire under his, because I felt bad for him. He's out there with his kid, and then I could tell when he was on the outside on the floor before the loss, and then when he was struggling in the loss. And he could it could be a good seller too, But I saw the broken heart in Jey. I saw how maybe disappointed in himself or let down, or just it looks like the wind got taken out of him a little bit, out of his sails. And I hope this is a fire opportunity for him to look back and say, even Ric Flair said, my first world title run, I wasn't ready for it. And he really didn't think he was a champion until he won it the second time. Jey Uso can aspire to that. He can keep working. Now he doesn't have the weight of the world title on him. Now he can go out and just really try to fine-tune that character and get comfortable on the mic, get comfortable in high-profile matches, and hopefully be able to come back around and get another crack at it. Because I don't hate Jey. I absolutely see the charisma in him and the personality, and he's connecting with little kids when he's doing, the YEET thing out on the entrance. He's got a lot there that's hard to ignore, and that's why he got the push to begin with. But he just didn't carry the weight of that title like he should have. And I think it was time to pull the trigger on ending the Jey Uso experiment for now. But what did you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. Are you one of the angry unsubscribers? Jey Uso's awesome. Yeet, boy. Or do you agree that, it was time to take the belt off of him? Something wasn't working. And hopefully he can, keep working on himself and find his way back to that spot. Let me know down in those comments below while you're there. Hit that subscribe button and a like. And if you like the cut of my jib, I got a book out, The Gathering, A Bold Journey into the Belly of the Juggalo Underworld. Links in the description. Peace, love, and pizza. I am your boy, Seth Grimes. And we'll catch you in the next video. Yeet.
Thank you for checking out the video. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to rest in